Hey, let me ask you a question. Do you know why OSHA shows up to do an inspection? Like what triggers the OSHA inspection? Well, a lot of people don't even know. They know that they don't want OSHA coming, but they don't really know what to do to keep them out because they don't know what triggers the inspection. Today, we're going to talk about the two main reasons OSHA shows up at your door and what you can do to prevent both of them. Let's check it out. Hey, before we get to the video, I wanted to tell you how you can download a free OSHA audit checklist. All you have to do is go to my website, Help with OSHA, click on this button right here, and you will download a free OSHA audit checklist. This is the best way to prepare your team for an unexpected OSHA audit. So what triggers an OSHA inspection? Well, the truth is there are several things that can trigger an OSHA inspection, but there's really just two main reasons that they show up at your facility to do an unexpected audit. The first reason, the number one reason that they do audits is because of an employee complaint. If you have employees complaining to OSHA about serious safety hazards, OSHA is required to investigate and find out. Now, they might send a letter, they might make a phone call, or they might just show up at your door to do an inspection. But they have to follow up on serious safety concerns that employees have. So how do you prevent employee complaints? It's real simple. You have good communication with your employees. If an employee feels like he or she is being heard and being listened to, then the likelihood of them going to OSHA is way, way down. You see, one of the best ways you can prevent employees from complaining to OSHA is if you have good communication. So weekly safety talks, right? Little safety meetings, pre-shift safety meetings, having a safety committee, having a safety suggestion box. These are all ways that employees feel like, hey, I can bring my concerns. I can voice my concerns and people are gonna hear what I'm talking about. Whereas on the flip side of it, if an employee is they're aggravating and they're complaining, they're just whining all the time and you don't listen to them, well, guess what? They can find somebody that will listen to them. And unfortunately, they're going to be happy about that. And they might not even work for you anymore. But when OSHA comes in, they're going to say, hey, we've got a list of complaints, and they're usually going to be anonymous, even though you might know who it is. You have to approach those complaints all the way. Sometimes they're real, sometimes they're serious safety issues that need to be addressed, but oftentimes they're bogus. They're just a disgruntled employee that's complaining. But the truth is, OSHA would never be brought into it if you were able to handle that on your own. You don't want the government showing up because of an employee relations issue. It's not good for anybody. So make sure that you open communication lines with your employees, have regular safety meetings, have a safety committee, have a safety suggestion box. Do what you can to make sure people are being heard. Because number one, you don't want anybody getting hurt. But number two, you don't want OSHA showing up to do an inspection. And you don't want to waste their time if it's just a bogus complaint from a disgruntled employee. So that's the number one reason. The number two reason that OSHA shows up is because of a serious injury. Now, in the OSHA standard, it actually talks about fatalities and serious injuries. God forbid, I pray we never have to worry about the fatality, but with a serious injury, those are usually in three categories. Either it's a hospitalization, where an employee gets sent to the hospital and actually admitted into the hospital, or it's an amputation, where an employee unfortunately loses a finger or a hand or part of their body, which is terrible. And the third is an eye injury, the loss of an eye or severe eye injury. So those are usually the three major severe injuries that's going to bring OSHA in. And one of the reasons it brings them in is because it's mandatory. It's required that when you have one of these happen, that you report it directly to OSHA. So because you report it to OSHA, kind of waves a red flag and they want to come investigate what happened. So this is preventable. Right? Severe injuries are preventable. The best thing you can do is honestly look around your work area, look around your workspace. What is possible What could possibly hurt somebody severely, right? Is it going to be a fall off of a ladder or a scaffold? Is it going to be a machine guarding accident where somebody sticks their hand into a machine and it cuts off a finger? Is it going to be a lockout tagout injury? That goes hand in hand with machine guarding, making sure that the machines are protected. Or could it be safety glasses related, where something actually damages the eye and that triggers an OSHA inspection? So this is preventable. Number one, because we don't want anybody getting hurt. And number two, because we don't want to have an OSHA inspection as a consequence for somebody getting hurt when we could have prevented it. So those are the two main reasons that OSHA shows up. That's what triggers an OSHA inspection. There's a few other ones, but these are the big ones. And the good news is they're preventable. So number one, help employees by having open communication. If employees can communicate with you and their supervisor and they feel like their voice is being heard, the chances of them reaching out to OSHA goes way, way down. And the second is prevent serious injuries from happening. Now, I know we want to do this because we don't want anybody getting hurt, but we also need to do a hazard assessment to look around the work area and figure out where is someone most likely going to get seriously hurt, what procedures, what equipment, what preventative actions can we take to make sure that doesn't happen. Remember, your job matters. It's very important that you protect the people that you work with because nobody should get hurt at work.